Hey everybody, this is 10 Free Posters with Jerm and Jay. Conversations after the show. I'm your host, Jeremy Karras, and with me always is my co-host, Jay Heikala. Jay.
Jeremy, it's great to be here with you, as always. I'm so excited to be doing our second podcast here.
Me too, man. Oh, I forgot to crack my beer. Did you crack yours?
I did crack my beer.
Ooh, I'm going to get this on.
I did crack my beer.
Let me get this on audio. Let's see it. Ooh.
Ooh, that sounded delish.
Didn't it? Yeah. So, by the way, everybody, I am drinking a Heavy Riff St. Louis lager. Old St. Lou. Premium lager from Heavy Riff Brewing here in St. Louis. So, what about you, Chad?
Proudly, once again, I will, what's the word I'm trying to say? Pimp is what I'm trying to use, but that's not the word I want to use. I want to give a shout out to Iron Hops Brewing for seizing the day, for Carpe Diem lager. And here we are. What is tonight's? What are we talking about?
Tonight, Jay, we're talking about Santana and the Doobie Brothers. They played at the Hollywood Casino and Amphitheatre in Maryland Heights on June 20th, 2026 this year. It was a fun summer night show, so let's talk about it. Why did we choose to go see Santana?
Well, I think we wanted to see, Santana is a guitar god. He's, I think, 80 years old, somewhere around there. Just a chance to see him, and having never seen him before, sign me up, and the tickets weren't that expensive either, which always makes that easier. Certainly better to absorb the $22 beers you're going to buy at the show.
That's true. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But and then them playing with the Doobie Brothers, Doobie Brothers are one of those bands that there's a handful that I remember growing up, that were on my parents, probably more with the Doobie Brothers, more specifically my dad, but constant playlist.
Just curious, Jay, not to throw you too off track, because I noticed that you were trying to put it to some type of device, right? Like, do you put it on, say, record, cassette player?
You're totally right. It was, so I said playlist, but it was 8-track.
Wow. Nice.
8 serious shit, man. 8-track. Dad had an 8-track player in the garage hooked up to speakers, and he had maybe 30 different 8-tracks. And eventually it moved to cassettes.
Mm-hmm.
But the Doobie Brothers were always kind of burned in, and so seeing them last summer at the same place, to see them again with Santana, hell yeah, dude.
Man, when you mentioned 8-tracks, it just had me thinking about our ages, and I'm like, I was born in 79 and you were born in I was gonna say
I was born in 77.
Yeah.
So one thing that's never escaped me, unfortunately, is that I was born at the height of disco. And I bring this up because this is the very first time that I heard Santana, Jeremy. I went to Cracker Barrel with my parents probably in the early 90s, when I was maybe 14 years old or something like that. And that's when I was discovering music, and my dad got me in Cracker Barrel. They have that cheesy country store.
Yep.
If you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
And they have, and they might even still have this for all I know. They have this little section of and they had books that was this was the year you were born.
Yeah.
And the little books would have the ads that were famous, the year you were born or whatever. But they had a CD that had all the top 10 songs. And maybe, or some of the top 20 songs of the year you were born. And so my dad got me this CD, so it's 1977. And most of it is shitty disco. But there's a couple songs in there. Black Betty from
Ram Jam.
Ram Jam. Thank you. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there's a couple other songs on this 1977 Greatest Hits CD from Cracker Barrel. But the one that I loved and would play over and over is She's Not There by Santana. And it's still my favorite Santana song, even though if you like if you bring up like Apple playlist, it will be like number 20,
Yeah.
yeah, on the playlist, which I'm like always like, what do you mean it's one of his best songs,
Mm.
But
It was up against that disco.
so
That's probably why.
but yeah, so that is my first really time hearing
That's
Santana, and then I think like a lot of people of maybe my age and your age too, is he was fortunate enough to have a resurgence in the late 90s, early 2000s with what is that, Supernatural,
Yeah.
where he paired a lot with like Rob Thomas for a couple of those songs, and I think endeared himself to a whole new generation.
Yes, I think that was, to me, like one of the things that I love about him as a musician is that he works with these other artists. He's like just symbiotic sort of relationship. Like he's not, about taking over the show. He's like
he has no ego.
Yes, I think that's one of the biggest things. I think is just like he's very, humble, and like you can just see it and feel it kind of in the music. What do you think about some of the stuff they played, like out of the stuff that you remember? Because I recall watching you, I kind of sat back because of the way our seats were. So since we were on the lawn, we didn't initially have chairs, but then I was like, I was like, you know what? It's summertime.
And thank you for that. I don't know
if
I think I had quite a bit to drink, but I did. I believe I thanked you. So if I didn't, thank you.
Oh, you thank me.
And my ass thanks you as well, Jeremy.
Yes, everybody thanked me. So yeah, so songs,
Yeah, I'll give you my just kind of my impression. And it kind of goes to what we were saying about a lot of his songs, like you said, are collaborations. Where obviously he's out there just rocking it on guitar, but but he'll partner with someone like Rob Thomas, or again maybe numerous musical people.
Oh yeah, I mean, and even his drummer is his wife, Cindy Blackman.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I saw her, and there was some close-ups, showing her drumming.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not know that though. So
yeah, the only reason I knew is because I saw I was listening to a documentary about Lenny Kravitz, and then it talked about her, and then
but I was just gonna say that I enjoy that they did play several songs, essentially instrumental, where there maybe normally would have had the someone singing.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't, and it kind of just went through kind of like a jam of that, and I thought that was really cool. I wanted to know what more. I wanted to know like your relationship with Santana, like beyond even this show.
Yeah. So my introduction to Santana, my dad would always put on rock and roll records. I'd always remember it'd be like either Saturday or Sunday, whatever mood my father was in. It'd be like, all right, cleaning day, like we're gonna clean the shit out of the house. It'd be like, my sister would be like, here's your list. You're doing the vacuuming of every room. You're doing this, cleaning this, and this. And then my dad give me my list, just rattling it off. And then we'd all go do it, and it'd be like put on, different records. And it's like he'd put on Santana, and I just remember like, Oyo como va. Yeah, and like I was doing the songs. So when he and Rob Thomas got together and did the song Smooth, he did this song. And then, like, so it's kind of that realization that's like going back, you know, at that age, it was based on whatever my dad had in his collection, because it was like I wasn't necessarily, you know, seeking out to listen to his type of type of music, you know.
Sure.
Because it was like, oh, my dad's got this stuff, so it's like he'd have his record collection and just pull that out and listen to stuff. So, but yeah, that was usually how, through my father, a lot of music was introduced, either doing activities, cleaning, or doing stuff. But other stuff for me for music was through my mom, like at different things, like driving us from one place to another.
Into them as much? Was your mom into Santana?
No, yeah, you know, I think she probably appreciated it, like that era of music, like the 70s and stuff. But yeah, she was
she
more
a hippie?
No, she was more of a like she actually went into the military too. Like,
I was gonna say, I know your mom, and no hippie.
No, I think she's a hippie at heart, but not truly. Like, but her thing was the Beatles and like just a lot of like that era of music, Beach Boys, and a lot of harmony type singing stuff. So, to me, one of the things I loved about this show was just how beautiful it was out that night. We got so lucky with the weather, and just out on the lawn, and you know, we had they had multiple TVs up around the top half of the stadium for the folks out there, and I was like, just perfect.
I think we've talked about the music a good amount, so,
so
let's talk about some posters here. So why don't you? Can you tell us a little bit about that? So here, why don't we try that again?
Yeah, we'll just it's all good.
So why don't you tell me a little bit more about your decision to make two different versions of the poster?
So I never go into this like thinking I'm going to make two until I'm in certain phases of when I'm doing certain parts of it, like whether I'm sketching or I'm doing the pencil work or the ink work. I'm trying to think a little bit ahead, but not too far ahead. And so when it comes to the color, it's like my first instinct was this whole design. I was like, okay, it's evening, it's night. It's like, what's it going to be like there? It's probably going to be lights and flashing. And I was like, my first instinct was to go with like moonlight, stuff that, you know, calm and relaxing. But then the more that I worked on it, I realized, you know what? I should try to do more of like a sunset type burst pattern. And that one ended up, you know, just working itself out too. And so sometimes, you know, as I'm working on stuff, I end up liking them both. And so in this case, I just decided, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna print two versions this time. And so instead of giving out 10 posters, I actually gave away 20 this time.
You know, maybe to add on to that, well, I mean, what was your inspiration? How did you get to the specific design of this poster?
With this one, one of the things I like to do is when I go grocery shopping, I'll put in my ear, you know, my AirPods in my ear and just bobbing through the store, doing my thing, and I'll listen to a band, you know, in this case Santana. So I'm sitting there, I'm listening to him, I'm jamming out, and I'm going down the paper aisle, tissues, and I looked over and I saw a box of Kleenex that stood out to me so much that I was like, took a picture of that box of Kleenex standing in the store. I was like, I really like the way these patterns are moving, these shapes, not necessarily the colors. I did like a little bit of it, but so once I saw that, I kind of took that. When I got home, I started researching that kind of design pattern. And then I came across a Fillmore poster. And so this is a type of design that came out in the 60s, 1966. It's a psychedelic lettering style, so it really forced the readers to have to slow down to actually be able to read what it's saying. So I was really inspired by that, and then that mixture of, you know, seeing that Kleenex box and being like I'm going to work this in. And so that and the motion, that was a big thing. Like listening to Santana's music would say this need, you feel like kind of wanting to dance and like just groove.
Totally.
And so I think that was a lot of it. It was just like trying to make something that felt flowy and really had like that psychedelic 1960s vibe to it. So like, Jay, what did you think?
Of the posters?
Yeah.
Of the poster? Yeah, no, I thought it was great. What I noticed, so it looked to me that at least on the more blue and purple poster, that you maybe printed it on a different paper.
Oh.
Or you used something that was a texture to it.
Yeah. So it's on both of them. So you should see it you'll see it on both of yours on there.
So tell me more about that. Is that a different kind of paper?
Yeah, so originally I wanted to do this print on like a foil type paper, meaning it would have been more of like a metallic sheen finish, almost like a mirror. And then the ink goes on top of it, but it was just too short of notice and a little bit out of my budget range for this one. So what I actually did was it's a sort of like a finishing lacquer type spray paint. I was here at Blick Art Supply Store here in St. Louis, and I was in there picking up some supplies, and I asked the lady behind the counter, I was just like, hey, do you have like a shiny shimmery paint, something that leaves like a pearl effect? And they were like, oh, we've got like this glitter type spray paint. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And so just given a shot, sprayed it on there, see what it looks like, and it actually left a bit of like this sort of glimmery shiny effect. And so I was really happy with the way that turned out. So
Nice. How did you feel with the giveaway this time?
yeah
I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, I did not expect, Primus level of people and fans like seeking a poster as much, but I always do still feel very excited just to see that surprise on people's faces when they're just like, oh, like it's almost like a stunned look, like they can't believe themselves. And I love those ones, but I do love the people that find me too, like whether it's just for that specific show or it's, have been following me. So yeah, it's that connection with those fans and people, whether it's unexpected or somebody that was seeking me out. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, that's a connection. It's this awesome moment. So Jay, do you want to kind of tell everybody who we're thinking about talking about next?
Yes, Jeremy. I think that we're going to continue our podcast here and talk about the wonderful band Gwar, a band that everyone knows, and loves or hates.
Yeah. Next show we're going to do Gwar. So
Indeed. Well, Jeremy, I had a lot of fun tonight. But I look forward to the next show. I look forward not only to the next concert, but I look forward to our next podcast. Again, we're talking about Gwar. Oh my God. Talk about the bodily fluids. It's going to be amazing. Personally, Jeremy, thank you. And thank all of you at home for listening to me drink beer with Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks everybody for listening. We're, like I said, we're going to try to keep it interesting and just keep talking about shows and keep it going. So, talk to you later.
Thank you, everyone. Talk to you soon.
If you got a poster at the show, or you like the show, or you have anything you wanted to, contribute or say, you can always reach out to us via email at 10freeposterspodcast@gmail.com. As well, you can find me on social media under the handle Jerm's Drawings. This has been 10 Free Posters with Jerm and Jay, conversations after the show. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to more conversations.